Hey guys, welcome back, it's Meg. Today we are going to be doing a 20 Fortified Algeth'ar Academy. Once again, this footage was taken pre-buffs and pre-changes to some of the bosses in here, so it's going to look a little different, but overall the trash is done pretty much entirely the same. In this dungeon, Spinning Crane Kick and Awakened Feline absolutely carry. You can do so much healing just in the tree room alone with those abilities. Given that this was the pre-nerfed version of the tree, we decided to go there first because it used to be the block of the dungeon. Nowadays, you'll see most groups going to Vexamus first because he is the hardest of the bosses in here now. Mistweaver's AoE is very simple. It is just Spinning Crane Kick above 4 targets, and now with Feline Stomp and Awakened Feline, you are going to see most of your healing in AoE packs like this is going to be coming from that as well. I keep Ancient Teachings up just through placing my Feline Stomp, and occasionally I will Rising Sun Kick, but generally these things are going to be dying fast enough and they're not going to be hitting hard enough where I feel as though I need to keep constant uptime on my Renewing Mist. Now that everyone has a bit more gear and more people have their tier pieces, we have been pulling this entire room, like the whole thing, all at once. With the exception of maybe one of the B packs, we will keep that separate and either kill it later or not kill it at all and just watch out for the pack during the boss. The most dangerous thing here is just losing your Feline and getting left behind, whether it's from the detonation seeds or just not being able to get it reset. This boss has changed a bit since I took this footage, but generally it's extremely easy now. The timers have been adjusted slightly as well as the Awakened Feline buff, so all we really do on this boss now is just Spinning Crane Kick spam. The Awakened Feline healing will keep people topped, and if you want to, if you're on a higher key, you can pop Chi and just continue to spin and every now and then throw out an Enveloping Mist just for the Enveloping Breath, but otherwise this boss is extremely easy now, and Spinning Crane Kick is going to do all of the heavy lifting here. I'll usually dispel my tank around 15 stacks. If they are fine and they have defensives, then you can wait a little bit longer, but generally the second dispel is going to be a lot higher stacked than the first one, so I do the first one around 15 stacks or so. I do get clipped here by a swirly at the end, but thankfully it is a fort week, so I'm totally fine. Diffuse did a lot of defensive work there, but generally that is going to kill you, so definitely keep that in mind. And then I don't believe this overlap happens anymore, but you can knock out the little lashers with Ring of Peace to avoid them getting any heals off. On that one, I walked into another one. We had someone go the wrong way on our rotation, but again, Fortified week works out. This guy's just pure single target. You can line of sight the ground effect and you're just dodging swirlies. Super easy. This was mostly on people just not getting hit by things and not dying. So I'm gonna go ahead and skip this guy and fast forward to the birds. The big thing with these is that you want to just drop your Fey line down and then spin to win. That's going to be the highest damage, and there's not really a lot of damage going out on the party. You just have to dodge the frontals and everything, but you are going to get a lot of Awakened Fey line healing out of this, and you'll also just be able to do as much damage as you can. Generally not a very dangerous trash pack. This is everybody's favorite buggy boss. Thankfully he did not bug out on us this time, but I have lost quite a few keys to the issues where he will not spawn at all, the birds will not spawn, the goalposts will not spawn, or just there's like 10 other things that happen on this boss. But if all of those things don't happen, the boss is relatively easy. You do just have to watch out for the Tank Buster, the Savage Peck. Even though this is a Fortified, you do want to keep pots on the tank. Even if you have a Blood Decay, it does just help them keep up a little bit. Nowadays, we will usually take up to 4 stacks of the Screech. It will do more damage to you each time. I don't start using defensives until we are taking the 3rd application of it, and then you can also use one on the 4th, and by then you will be resetting, and you'll have your defenses up for the next round of Screeches. But it is kind of like a soft enrage. because eventually you will run out of things to clear the goals with. So you just have to coordinate between your group how many screens you want to go to based on your damage and based on everyone's comfort with the boss. Generally, it's a little hard to see the things under her wings, so play it safe. You can kind of angle your camera down a little bit to look under the wings, but that's the hardest part about this boss, is honestly seeing the mechanics under the hit boss. These packs, you need to make sure you are watching out for the vicious lunges. That is going to be taken care of mostly by ancient teachings. If you bring in the battle axes, you will have to keep an eye on your tank, mainly because they are going to be putting on a bleed. It's also a tank buster, so that is something to be aware of. Otherwise, spin to win usually works, outside of the occasional rising sun kick if you want to maintain your hots. Otherwise, it is just a lot of spin to win in this dungeon. There's a lot of packs that have more than 4 mobs, which means that spinning crane kick will do the most damage and a decent amount of healing as well. Our Evoker did big damn, and he pulled threat on the Battle Axe, which was the Tank Buster that I mentioned earlier. That will kill pretty much everyone else, the Severing Slash, so he's going to go ahead and run back while we finish the rest of this pull. It's up to your group whether or not you want to double pull these. They do have a couple of very important kicks, which are sleeps and surges, as well as some mystic blasts in the next pack that is in the front of the room. That being said, we usually double these two just because we have enough AoE stops that we can maintain them. The surges aren't going to be doing a whole lot of damage on a 20, but if they get two of them, they could be in danger if they're missing any health. And then when it comes to the books, we have enough kicks to cover that as well. There is a couple of different strats for this boss. A lot of people like to pull it to the back or the front of the room and then let all of the orbs just funnel in. You want to make sure you're not letting the orbs hit. Usually the tank can get all of these, but I do like to help occasionally, especially if I have things like diffuse and there's an overlap. You can get a lot of value out of it there. The main thing to be concerned with is the overlap between the fissure and the orbs, because you will get knocked back and take damage, as well as the orbs start ticking down on 3 people that it is applied to, and it's a pretty nasty overlap. It can one-shot you even on a fortified week, so that is where you want to be looking out. This fight is a little chaotic, there's a lot of running around, especially depending on where you guys are dropping the bombs, but generally just cycle defensives and use 2G. It's going to be a little bit suboptimal just because everyone is so spread around, but you can use it for mana conservation and a little bit of spot healing. Once again, we have more spin to win on trash here. You do want to make sure that you are dropping the astral bombs on the pack, as it does do damage. Just be careful of the whirlwinds, because those actually do a decent amount of damage, and you can get essentially one shot if you are hit by more than 2 of them. Like I mentioned before, you want to make sure that the astral bombs are going off, but you do want to kick the arcane missiles, as that is a really big tank buster. This boss is a little all over the place depending on where you stand. It's going to be a little weird with Feline, and it's going to be a little weird trying to position in melee if you have a lot of melee, or if your tank isn't moving the boss around. But generally, the boss isn't very difficult in terms of throughput. You are just here to do as much damage as you can and make sure that people are topped if they are getting hit by any of the projectiles or by the vacuum or anything like that. This is the healing overall for the key. Once again, this was before we were buffed recently, so Awakened Feline is going to do a lot more than Ancient Teachings is in here, mainly because of the tree room as well as this last area. For reference, on a 22, I believe Awakened Feline did 13 million effective healing and 20 million overhealing, so it does quite a bit more. Same here for damage. Spinning Crane Kick is our highest, and it is going to remain the highest, given that we just got a buff to it. And that brings us to the end of this commentary. If you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitch, Twitter, or Discord. I hope that this video was helpful, and thanks for watching.